Let me tell you what, it is on body camera and video.
And everybody's watching.
Oh my God!
Get in the car! You're gonna get bit!
Looks like they may attack her.
I'm allowed to break the law.
Somebody secure my glasses, my body camera's on it.
I'm Sergeant Sean Larkin of the Tulsa PD Gang Unit, but most people just call me Sticks. We've got another great episode of PD Cam for you, so let's get this thing started.
Relax.
First, we're going to head to the small town of Josephine, Texas, where a suspect has just called the chief of police and is threatening to kill him. Now remember, none of what you're about to see in this show was shot with a professional camera.
I want you to calm down, my friend.
That's the police chief on the phone. Another officer took off his body camera to record the call.
I just need you to calm down. That's it. Let me ask you something. Are you threatening my life? Yeah, that's what I'm asking you now. Bobby, you there? He said he's on the way over here.
You want me to call other units or? 7305. Can you get 2 units en route to us for a disturbance at the Josephine PD in reference to yesterday's incident? That subject can be en route back up to the PD.
The chief of police was familiar with this guy because he had been in trouble with the law numerous times before. In this particular situation, the suspect was angry after being arrested a day earlier for punching a Josephine police officer.
Here you come.
Now that's the suspect's red truck that you just saw drive by.
He's got a rifle. Drop it!
Rifle now! Bobby, don't do this! Drop the rifle!
You can see he's standing in the bed of the truck there, armed with a rifle.
Do it!
Drop it, Bobby.
Do it!
Drop it, Bobby.
Drop the rifle! Bobby, drop the rifle right now. Right now, drop it.
Bobby!
Bobby, don't do it!
Don't do it, Bobby.
Do it, Bobby! Drop the rifle! Drop the rifle!
Ruin my
Bobby, just drop it.
ruin my
Rifle now!
shut the up. He's
Drop the rifle!
You can hear how many times they're telling him to drop that rifle.
Drop it!
What? Say it!
Bobby!
Say
Drop the
it! Say
rifle!
drop it! Say drop it!
Bobby!
Go ahead! You
5, check the status.
Put it down! Don't do it!
7305, shots fired.
Now, the officers were trying to end this without having to use deadly force, but the suspect lowered his rifle and pointed it right at them.
Officers of Code 4, we have 1 subject down.
Bobby, put your hands in the air. I'll get you a medical on the way.
Let us help you, Bobby. He might have a sidearm, Chief. Don't move.
You quit yelling at me!
Do not move.
Do not play that. Do not move. Okay, here. Look at this.
Got a gun on you, Bobby?
Bobby, the paramedics on the way.
Don't touch me. Don't.
We're gonna put you in. Relax, Bobby. Relax, Bobby.
Stay still.
Stay still, Bobby.
Relax. This. You better kill me now.
We're not gonna
Kill
do
me
that.
now. Damn you. Damn you.
7305, were you clear? Send AMR. Scene secure.
The suspect was treated at the hospital for 3 gunshot wounds and later pled guilty to 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison and an additional 10 years probation. Our next story comes to us from Summerville, South Carolina, where an officer has just pulled over a man wanted for trying to steal a computer and assaulting a store employee. This was all caught on the officer's dash cam.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Go back. Turn around, put your hands behind the back. What? Do it now. What? Do it now.
I ain't do anything,
Do it
man.
now.
I ain't do anything, dog. What you doing, man?
The suspect immediately becomes combative. So the officer tried to use his taser and the suspect started throwing punches at him. It's difficult to see, but a passing civilian gets out of his car to try to help the officer.
Step out, mate. Wait.
The suspect has actually just jumped into the police car, and the officer and the Good Samaritan are trying to pull him out. This is a suspect actually driving the stolen police car now. During the pursuit, he's actually going close to 90 miles an hour. Keep in mind, the citizens don't know that it's a suspect driving the stolen police car. Let's get right back to Summerville, South Carolina, where a suspect has just stolen an officer's patrol car. What you're seeing here is the dash cam of the officer's car, which is being driven by the suspect. The suspect made it about 3 miles from the original traffic stop before crashing. That's the dash cam on the police car that's actually come unhinged and is hanging. What you just heard there, that's the suspect actually trying to open the door, but it's smashed closed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm moving. I'm not. I'm getting up. I'm not gonna touch you with my son. I'm not. I will get on the ground. I can't breathe, man. I can't breathe. EMS here. My legs broke. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Oh, the legs broke.
The suspect, a career criminal, was taken into custody and charged with strong-arm robbery, assault on a police officer, grand larceny, and possession of a firearm by a person convicted of a violent crime. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Our next story takes place in DeLand, Florida, where Volusia County deputies were called to an attempted burglary of a local convenience store.
Good, how are you? Where's he at now? Can he hear you?
Yeah.
The man had tried to break into the convenience store through the roof, but wasn't able to and found himself trapped up there.
Yo, are you up there?
His excuse? He needed water.
What was he saying before?
Because I'm dying. I need the help. I said, how can you go up? He said,
1 Delta 23 Central.
And it turns out he has actually been up there all night.
Delta 23.
Can you roll rescue as well? I think he's saying something about he needs help or he's dying or something. How did you get up there? The back wall?
Let's stand by for the fire department.
Okay. Hold on.
Whoa.
Go back.
Whoa, sit back.
Go back. Go back. Go back. Go get off the ledge.
We'll come get you. All right, let's go. Yeah, that's where that car goes.
Back off the ledge, buddy. Why are you on the roof, buddy?
How the hell did you get up here?
You were what?
I needed water.
A reasonable and prudent
That's why I
person
said
would not.
bro. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't breathe.
You haven't been bit by.
You wanted the water, right? Huh? You wanted the water, right?
Yes, you barely
wanted
even.
to get in there, right? Well,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Hey,
paying for
you're
it.
trying to break into a business.
No, I was gonna pay.
It was closed. How are you gonna pay when it's
I
closed?
didn't know. I've never been here to this store.
Any business on the planet, if they're locked,
Water, please.
you'll get some at the jail. I mean, at the.
Please don't do that to me.
You've had that water for almost
I'm trying
30
to
minutes
talk
and
to
you've
you
only had
guys.
2 sips
I'm
of it.
putting your thing first with my
Come on.
hydration. I'm an honest man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told him. I don't want to do that. I didn't even try to do it. It just happened, man.
I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying?
I do not actually.
No, anybody else would never even said anything. Come on.
The suspect was cleared by medical personnel before being booked into the Volusia County Jail. The charges? Attempted burglary and criminal mischief. Hopefully in jail, he'll get hydrated. Now let's head to Florida's East Coast, where Volusia County deputies have spotted a stolen vehicle. This was all caught on a helicopter cam and an officer's body cam.
Let's get somebody on Nova Road and 40, and then US 1.
This is a FLIR camera, which stands for forward-looking infrared. This is a
this a better neighborhood for you, for her, for your family, for my family. This is nothing personal. This isn't me against Matt. This is me against Matt's behavior. He drives around like that, almost hit somebody on a bicycle, and you think that's all right? Really? What'd that person on the bike do to you? You know, what if y'all hit? What if you'd hit and killed that dude? You know what I mean? But y'all don't think about it like that. We're just trying to get away. That's all. We're just trying to get away. Okay. Luckily tonight, nobody was hurt.
The male suspect was charged with multiple offenses, including grand theft of a motor vehicle, tampering with physical evidence, and possession of cocaine and cannabis. The female suspect was charged with possession of heroin and narcotics paraphernalia. Both suspects are still awaiting trial. Next up, Marion County, Florida, where a deputy spotted a driver having a medical emergency at an intersection and stopped to help.
Did you get him? Is he breathing yet?
It was all caught on the officer's body camera.
Open that back door.
Okay. There we go.
I can't get him out. He needs to be out so I can pump on him.
Let's get him on.
He needs to come out.
Oh, watch that. Watch that.
That female voice that you're hearing, that's a registered nurse that just happened to be at the scene and stopped to help.
Hey, you all right? You all right?
He's not responding. That's gassy, but...
The officer's now doing what's called a sternum rub.
Press, press, press.
Is there a pulse?
No, there is no pulse. He's not breathing.
That's the nurse right there.
You want to get his phone, see if you can see a family number?
Yeah.
A wife? A mom? It's on the seat.
Turns out there's kids in the back seat of the car.
See if he's got anything that says any kind of health history. There's no pulse. I am holding. That's not breathing. No, keep going.
No pulse.
Do you have a mask in your car?
Keep going with that. I get the mask out.
Just drag him back. Okay.
All right, here.
No breathing. You have been doing compressions for about 4 minutes? called 911. I jumped out of the car and I started doing it.
No, they're good right here. We're good.
Step back, honey. There is no pulse.
Stand back.
Is he breathing? Is he awake? No? No? He's in a normal sinus right now. You got a pulse?
He's breathing.
Were you with him?
No, I was 2 lines over. I saw him calling, and I could see him go back like this. I got out. I'm a nurse up at Monroe. Going home. I got your monitor.
It's a very good thing that this happened when the vehicle was stopped. This could have been a lot worse for him and his children, as well as any other citizens in the area.
Okay, is she on her way?
She's on her way.
How far away is
Do
she?
you know how far you are from us right now, ma'am? She's coming from Ocala Regional, because she works at Ocala Regional.
Okay, okay.
So you just drove up?
I came through the intersection and saw her getting CPR in the front seat. So I turned around and started to assist. Is that Mom?
That's me.
That's the man's wife who had just arrived on scene. She's actually a nurse as well.
Whoever did CPR, thank you. Thank you. I think it's her. You're good. You're good. Okay? I want you to breathe. You know.
I know. Does he have a history of cardiac?
Nothing. Smoker, diabetic. Boom. There you go. 45 years old, and this was my biggest fear known to man. So,
But luckily, people were here.
I was right next to my side.
That's why I said who was doing CPR. Thank you.
We both were.
Him and I.
And
We clocked heads once, but we did
And
good.
he was talking to you on the phone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
guys so much. Okay, thanks, guys.
Let me go tell the
Great
big
job,
guy.
guys.
Hey, you were a good help. Appreciate it.
This was an amazing group effort by the Marion County Sheriff's Office, working together with a group of citizens. And with me now in studio is Deputy Alan Lee, who was the first on scene. Deputy, man, appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Walk me through this. Were you out on patrol and just kind of stumbled upon this?
I was leaving the sheriff's office, coming out into the roadway, entering an intersection, and I just ran across this at a red light.
So just a fluke deal, basically.
Yes, sir. I saw someone, it looked like they were giving someone CPR in the front of their car, and I just pulled in behind them to assist.
I gotta ask, was this the first time you've actually had to ever use it out in the field in real life, or have you previously had to do it?
No, that was actually my first time ever doing it in real life.
Is there a pulse?
No, there is no pulse. He's not breathing.
My training just kicked in. It was instinctively a reaction of what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. The first thing we needed to do was to get this person out of the car and onto a hard surface. To give someone CPR the right way, you need to have them on a flat, hard surface where you can have that back pressure whenever you're pressing down on someone's chest.
That's not breathing. No, keep going.
Pulse?
Do you have a mask in your car?
Keep going with that. I get the mask on.
Luckily, I had a nurse on scene that just continued to follow and monitor the heart rate.
You couldn't have asked for someone else better to have on scene there with you working on one of these. I mean, other than probably like an ER doctor or somebody.
Well, actually, what's funny about that is I didn't know that she was a nurse until the end.
Really?
In the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope this person knows what they're doing because this is my first time.
He's breathing.
That's why I said who was doing CPR. Thank you.
We both were.
Him and I.
Tell us about him. I mean, obviously he was transported that day. Do you know anything more? Was it, what his medical condition was and what's happened since then with him?
He's on his way to recovery. I actually just recently ran across him at the gym. He was signing up for a gym membership.
So some life changes.
Yes.
That's good. Hey, nothing wrong with it, man. Unfortunately, it's something like this to do it, but hey, good for him. Deputy Lee, you deserve every bit of recognition, any awards that come with it. Amazing job out there saving that man's life. Well, that's it for this episode of PD Cam. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.